Richie, a middle-aged man with a mysterious past as a retired mafia leader, lives in a luxurious house in Spain, enjoying his retirement. One afternoon, during lunch with his daughter Carmen, he expressed his longing for his older brother, Charlie, who resides in England. Meanwhile, Charlie, reminiscing about Richie with his friends, receives an unexpected call from his brother in Spain. Their conversation is filled with affection and longing as they catch up on each other's lives. After the heartfelt conversation, Charlie returns to his friends, only to be approached by Lizzie, Richie's friend, who has been keen on him for a while. She asks for Richie's number, hinting at her interest in him. In a dramatic turn of events, a couple, Aaron and Lauren, strolls down a desolate London street. Aaron, unbeknownst to Lauren, leads her into a trap set by his gang of thugs in a narrow alley. The situation quickly escalates as Lauren becomes the target of their harassment, which they maliciously record. Among the gangsters, Dean tries to intervene and protect Lauren from the harassment, but Aaron prevents him from doing so. Just as the tension reaches its peak, Charlie arrives on the scene, drawn by the commotion from behind the bar. Charlie steps in, urging Lauren to leave and reprimanding the group for their actions. However, Charlie strikes one of them, further fueling the confrontation. Aaron, feeling affronted by Charlie's interference, commands his gang to attack him. Tragically, amidst the chaos, Lizzie emerges from the bar, searching for Charlie, only to find her friend lying lifeless in the alley near the establishment. On the same fateful night, Lizzie, deeply shaken by Charlie's death, reports the incident to Detectives Susan Taylor and John. Despite their efforts, the detectives are unable to make arrests on Aaron and his gang due to a lack of concrete evidence. Lizzie, having only seen the gangsters emerging from the alley where Charlie was found, cannot provide direct evidence of the crime. Heartbroken by the news of his brother's death, Richie is devastated and decides to return to England. Meanwhile, Detectives Susan and John confront Aaron and his gang, threatening them with arrest and jail time if found guilty of Charlie's murder. However, Aaron vehemently denies the accusations and opts to leave the scene with his cohorts. After the detectives depart, Aaron plots to silence Lauren, who witnessed their attack on Charlie. Dean, privy to Aaron's plan, clandestinely visits Lauren's house to warn her of the impending danger. He advises her to stay indoors for her own safety. As feared, Aaron and his gang arrive at Lauren's doorstep, intent on intimidating her into silence. Through the mail slot, Aaron coerces her into keeping quiet about the events surrounding Charlie's death, threatening both her and her mother with dire consequences if she dares to speak to the authorities. After arriving in England, Richie wastes no time and meets Roy, a trusted associate. Eager to uncover the truth about his brother Charlie's death, Richie visits Lizzie for information. However, Lizzie admits she didn't witness the incident directly but suspects that Charlie's killers were notorious gangsters known for causing trouble in London. Determined to seek justice, Richie and Roy head to the crime scene where Charlie was murdered, coincidentally encountering Detectives Susan and John, who are investigating the case. Aware of Richie's formidable reputation as a former mafia leader, Susan urges him to hand over the case to the police. Reluctant to relinquish control over his brother's investigation, Richie reluctantly agrees to involve the authorities before departing. Later that night at a bar, Lizzie informs Richie about a video depicting Aaron and his gang harassing Lauren, believing it could be linked to Charlie's death. With this new lead in hand, Lizzie shares Lauren's workplace address with Richie, hoping it will shed light on the truth behind Charlie's tragic demise. As Richie delves deeper into the investigation, the mystery surrounding Charlie's death grows more complex and dangerous. After Richie learns about the potential mastermind behind his brother Charlie's murder from Lauren, she reveals that Aaron's gang orchestrated the tragic event. Unbeknownst to them, DK, a member of Aaron's gang, overhears Lauren's conversation with Richie and rushes back to Aaron to relay the news. Despite Aaron initially underestimating Richie as just an ordinary man, he remains relaxed and seemingly unconcerned about the revelation. The scene then shifts to a flashback of Richie and his mafia colleagues attending Charlie's funeral. Amidst the somber occasion, an elderly man named Arthur arrives, prompting Richie to tease him about his age. However, Arthur takes the jest in stride and humorously reminds Richie of their past encounters, bringing laughter to the group. Despite their banter, Richie expresses gratitude to Arthur for his presence, acknowledging the importance of their shared history. Following the funeral, Richie encounters Jack, a retired police commissioner, at his modest home. Despite their different paths in life, bridging the gap between his past as a mafia leader and his present quest for justice for his brother. As Richie delves deeper into the investigation, after Jack provides Richie with information about some members of Aaron's gang but fails to uncover details about Aaron himself, Richie decides to take matters into his own hands. He instructs his friends to abduct two gang members, Leroy and Ed, in an attempt to extract information about Aaron's whereabouts. However, the young gangsters, unaware of Richie and his friends' true identities, dismiss their threats and insult them instead. As tensions escalate, Ed's disrespectful remarks about Charlie push Richie to his limits. In a shocking turn, Arthur, one of Richie's associates, unleashes a brutal retaliation by inflicting painful torture on Ed, driving a nail into his hand and drilling into his feet. Witnessing his friend's agony, Leroy becomes fearful and desperate to avoid a similar fate. In a surprising twist, Leroy offers to help Richie by promising to lure Aaron out of hiding. Despite skepticism from Richie's friends, Richie unexpectedly agrees to Leroy's proposal and releases him. After releasing Leroy, he attempts to shoot Richie, prompting Richie to swiftly retaliate, resulting in Leroy's death. Despite the grim situation, Richie clarifies that he didn't trust Leroy and acted to prevent further harm, emphasizing that he didn't want to kill someone defenseless. Unfortunately, Ed succumbs to the torture inflicted upon him, succumbing to his injuries. Meanwhile, Aaron grows increasingly agitated by the sudden disappearance of his gang members, assuming they've fallen prey to rival gang attacks. Determined to dismantle Aaron's gang, Richie returns to Lauren for assistance. She reveals that one of the gang members, JB, frequents a nearby parking lot. Despite feeling guilty about involving Lauren further, Richie requests her phone number, only to be interrupted by the arrival of Susan, who happens to be Lauren's mother and a detective, urging Richie to refrain from involving her daughter in the dangerous situation. In the parking lot, JB underestimates Arthur, mistaking him for an easy target. However, Arthur's unexpected display of a sword intimidates JB, prompting him to flee on his bicycle. Unbeknownst to JB, Richie's friends lie in wait, using Arthur as bait to ensnare him. As JB falls from his bike, Richie's friends swiftly close in, setting a trap to capture him. In a grim turn of events, JB, captured by Richie and his friends, defiantly refuses to disclose Aaron's whereabouts, taunting them and even disrespecting Charlie's memory. Enraged by JB's insolence, Richie succumbs to his fury and beats JB to death. Tragically, Richie's actions trigger a recurrence of his illness, compelling him to seek urgent medical treatment, rendering him hospitalized. Despite his weakened state, Richie devises a risky plan to lure Aaron out of hiding. Meanwhile, Aaron and his gang prepare for potential attacks from rival factions when Lauren arrives unexpectedly at their headquarters. She delivers the shocking news that all of their missing members have been kidnapped and killed by Richie. Amidst their conversation, Lauren receives a call from her mother, Susan, prompting Aaron to encourage her to answer to avoid raising suspicion. Lauren relays the details to Aaron, who, with his gang, storms the hospital and takes Lauren hostage. Determined to eliminate Richie, Aaron orders his members to scour the hospital for Richie's room. Soon after, two gang members locate what they believe to be Richie's room and open fire, unaware that Richie isn't there. In a sudden turn of events, Richie and his friends ambush Aaron's gang members who had been searching the hospital. Aaron, hearing the gunshots, realizes Richie has outsmarted him, leading to a tense confrontation. Suspecting Lauren's involvement, Aaron checks her phone and discovers her betrayal, prompting him to plan her demise. However, Dean intervenes just in time, pushing Aaron to the ground and initiating a fierce firefight between the two groups. As the situation spirals out of control, Lauren contacts Susan for help while Richie's group systematically eliminates Aaron's gang members. Amidst the chaos, one of Richie's members sustains a gunshot wound but receives prompt medical attention. Meanwhile, Dean attempts to rescue Lauren, but Aaron catches wind of the plan, taking her hostage to lure Richie into the open. As Richie and his friends emerge from hiding, Aaron prepares to shoot, but Dean intervenes once more, causing Aaron's gun to fall towards Richie. In a desperate bid for survival, Richie grapples with the weapon, struggling to load it as Aaron aims another gun at him, intensifying the tension and uncertainty of the standoff. After the intense confrontation, it's revealed that Aaron's gun is out of ammunition, thwarting his attempt to harm Richie. Just as the situation reaches its climax, Susan and the police arrive, recognizing Aaron as a threat and swiftly neutralizing him. Following the ordeal, Richie recuperates in the hospital, where Susan expresses gratitude for his role in saving her daughter. As Richie heals, he decides to throw a lavish party at the club, where he encounters Lizzie. Despite Richie's interest in her and his offer to stay in Spain, Lizzie declines, preferring to remain in England. In a surprising turn of events, Richie's departure to Spain seems imminent, leaving his friends saddened by his impending absence. However, Richie defies expectations by choosing to stay in England with his friends, opting for solidarity over solitude. As the film concludes, Richie and his friends embark on a mission to eradicate crime in London, seeking redemption for their past transgressions. And the movie ends here. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on the film in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and also watch some of our other videos. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more movie.